Hi there, and thanks for tuning in to the latest dispatch from here in the Valley of the Stars. Lots been going on, keeping busy. The title of this week's dispatch is Identity Crisis, Fed Up with Doing It Ourselves. With all the talk about gender at the Olympics, I've been reassessing how I identify. I've spent the last few years trying to move towards something approaching the Oxford English Dictionary's definition of handyman, a person able or employed to do occasional domestic repairs and minor renovations. I've slowly been moving towards the Mr. Fixit label my mum used to have for my dad when I was growing up. I'm actually still using some of his tools from the 1950s box with his initials on it. But my attitude towards our project recently is making me reconsider. Now I think I identify more as unhandy man or Mr. Fixit-NOT. I am so totally done with DIY. I'm so over it, as the Americans say. I don't want to do it myself anymore. I'd like someone else to do it. Hours spent trying to work out how to do stuff has allowed me to ponder the alternative meanings of this TLA, or three-letter acronym. Died inside yesterday. Damn it, idiot, you. Done? Isn't yet. Drilling incomplete, yawn. Daily incompetence? Yes. Don't I yearn to do something else? Darn it, yes. Hopefully this is just a passing phase, given the amount of tinkering time, drill skills, and general knowledge about our solar and water systems I'm going to need to keep this show on the road. But right now I really can't face putting up any more lights, filling the remaining gaps between the skirting boards and the wall, or faffing about with wood and hinges. I've thrown everything at a long-running battle with the kitchen sink. Hopefully have found the final solution to a leaking industrial dishwasher, and we have secured all the headboards. But then there's the coffee tables, and the wooden benches to make, and to varnish, and to fit, and to finish. I make almost daily trips to the nearby agricultural supplies store and the hardware place, because I haven't bought enough nails, or the right-sized pipe, or the correct tap. But a lot of what we need involves a day trip. The local DIY superstore down in the Algarve is Leroy Merlin, pronounced in Portugal with an odd, fake French accent. Leroy Merlin. But I'm now comfortable just calling him Leroy. Not even Senor Merlin or Oh Leroy. We've spent so much time together, we are definitely on first-name terms and converse in the tu form. I almost know what all the different silicones are for, what kind of paint you use on what, and where everything is in most stores. I even felt let down when one of his people refused to let me buy an air conditioning unit for the adega, or the wine cellar, because I didn't have the name, license number, date of birth, mother's maiden name and inside leg measurement of the person who was going to install it. It's the law, apparently, presumably thanks to a well-connected and strong lobbying AC Fitters Union, perhaps known as the ACFU. The car happily drives itself the hour and a quarter cross-country to visit the holy trinity of IKEA, Leroy and Macro. I've overdosed on Swedish meatballs and hot dogs and burned hours pondering different-sized parafusos, screws, up there on my list of favourite Portuguese words with rodape, or skirting boards. Why have two words when you can have one? We've bought so many flat-pack things which need assembling that we've spent hours just putting waste cardboard into recycling bins. The annoying thing is that after all this, I am still rubbish at it. Lists of things to just finish off take hours, many of which are spent walking from one building to another, searching for missing tools or drill bits which I'm sure I left somewhere. The place is looking great, and every day it gets a little closer to being finished. A technical definition indicating the placement of essentials, allowing the rooms to be habitable, while other things are gradually added and finessed over time. Of course, to be officially habitable, we need a license, and little happens here once you hit August. Businesses close, people head off on holiday, and the town hall kicks the can down the road by asking for some additional signed piece of paper which we were categorically told by our architect we didn't need a month ago. Endless regulations, high taxes, and several 6-month-long delays, which have twice been resolved with the official response of, "Oh, I forgot," have left us financially and emotionally drained. Both the town hall and key professionals have been unresponsive for months throughout the process. The lack of accountability from all sides is far more exhausting than we could have imagined. Ho-hum. Let's just hope the Tourism Authority are generous when they read the letter our bank manager sent on our behalf, asking if we could put off payment of the loan capital until we're actually allowed to open. We were hoping to make money this summer to get us through the more fallow winter months, so we're hoping to put off repayments until next Easter, when tourism picks up again. After all, compared to others in the area, we've done things very quickly for Alentejo, but it's so frustrating to spend all this time and effort to do things above board, when many people here take the approach of asking for forgiveness rather than permission. It's often faster and cheaper. Friends and visitors are generous with their praise for what we've achieved in the 4 years since we arrived here in the Valley of the Stars. That's quite an important number for me, because for all the years spent bouncing from country to country, I've never lived in one place for more than 4 years, since the 1980s, when I left school in Newcastle. Breaking an adult, lifelong nomadic habit hasn't been as hard as I might have thought, probably because we're so busy, I suppose. But I am now happily settled in the place where we've settled, and I'm looking forward to the next 4, by which time I hope we'll be running a successful business, i.e. one that brings in more money than it spends, which is very much against the current trend. 1,000 boxes of linen arrived the other day. The cutlery is on its way. You can never have too many vacuum cleaners, and Anna hitched a lift north with our generous neighbour Daniel to order the crockery, which we picked up a day later at 6 a.m. at one of the monthly markets in the area. We've had a few friends come and road test the facilities while we grabbed a little bit of downtime. Ed, Rachel and Daisy were back for a week, officially our best return guests. We think it's 9 trips so far. Trish and Tim came with a camera, but we aren't quite ready for the glamour shots just yet. Their water was cold, but that's only because I forgot to turn on the heat pumps. But the pool was amazing, and the clubhouse, as it's now known, has the seal of approval as a great place to hang out. And we had the first visit of our sommelier, acrobat, dancer neighbour Candace and her husband Jeff, who arrived generously armed with some wonderful wines for us to throw into the mix for a lovely wine-tasting dinner with endless views over the hills. For those of you wondering, yes, the wine podcast has been on hiatus in lieu of all the other stuff we're trying to do, but the next episode is almost finished and is coming soon. I just keep remembering things and panicking about not getting them done. The LED lights in the bathroom, the website, the fan system for the Adega, the woodwork. We've achieved a huge amount against the odds. Those being our lack of experience of building, of Portuguese bureaucracy, of knowing how to do things, but we are so nearly there. While the place will never be finished, it will be nice to be able to have a bit of time to think again, to plan the vineyard, the marketing, the retreats, and learn how to run a lodge. But for now, I suppose I need to haul myself up the hill, try to gather all the possible tools I could need today into one shopping bag, and try and spend more time doing it myself than looking for missing tools myself. Thanks very much indeed for listening. If you enjoy the crazy story of our mad adventure, please share it with your friends, both online on the Substack, Off Grid and Ignorant in Portugal, and on these podcasts. Speak to you next time.